Hello everybody. Imagine a small town nestled in the highlands of China, where the call to prayer rings out from mosque minarets 5 times a day. Where women in hijab stroll casually through the traditional markets, and young men gather, not to smoke or hang out in bars, but to study the Quran. Welcome to Shadian, a Muslim town that stands as an oasis of faith in the heart of a secular giant called China. Located in Yunnan province, near the borders of Vietnam and Laos, Shadian isn't a bustling metropolis. But its atmosphere, its pulse, and its soul all beat to the rhythm of Islamic life. For anyone who visits, Shadian feels like a world of its own. Here, religion is not just an identity, it's a way of life, a spirit, a compass. Home to about 30,000 people, most of them from the Hui ethnic group, Muslims who have lived in China for centuries, Shadian is unlike many other scattered Muslim communities across the country who often live under the weight of dominant cultural norms. This town stands proud, whole, and humble. Yes, we live in a secular country, but our hearts have never been secular, says Lu Yun, a local resident, smiling. You won't find a bar on any corner of this town. No nightclubs. No haze of cigarette smoke hanging over coffee shops. What you'll find instead are the sounds of children reciting the Quran in the afternoon, the murmurs of prayer between the call and the commencement, and a deep Islamic spirit that continues to thrive, even as the world changes. Shadian is living proof that faith can flourish even in the face of challenge, and that a small town can hold a light bright enough to reach across the world. The moment you set foot in Shadian, you'll sense something different. The air feels fresher, the streets are clean, and there's no stench of cigarette smoke wafting through alleyways. Not because of crackdowns or government fines, but because the people here have made a conscious, collective choice: no cigarettes, no alcohol. Period. Unusual? Definitely. In an age where smoking and drinking are seen as part of the modern lifestyle, Shadian boldly goes against the current, with conviction. And what's more remarkable? It's not enforced by law or a heavy-handed government. It's upheld by values, education, and a shared spiritual consciousness. We don't need written bans. Our children learn from an early age that cigarettes and alcohol don't just harm the body, they damage the soul, says Mr. Abdullah, a respected community leader and owner of a halal grocery store. In the traditional market, you'll find all kinds of spices, fresh halal meat, dates imported from the Middle East, and even locally made halal snacks. But one thing's for sure, not a single stall sells cigarettes or alcohol. In fact, many young people here barely recognize the names of major tobacco or liquor brands. Of course, this didn't happen without challenges. Outside influences, media, tourists, the internet, are always present. But the Muslim community of Shadian has faced them gracefully, building strong moral foundations, reinforcing religious education, and shaping a lifestyle that is both Islamic and joyful, both principled and modern. What's more, this clean way of living has earned Shadian a reputation as a healthy and peaceful town. Crime rates are low, substance abuse is nearly non-existent, and social bonds are tight, built on care, respect, and community spirit. Without cigarettes or alcohol, all that's left is warmth between neighbors. We chat, we eat together, we help each other. That's enough to bring peace to the heart, says a smiling homemaker as she sells her homemade halal cakes. Shadian isn't just preserving religious law. It's building a civilization. A small one, yes, but one that's strong and intentional. A way of life where cleanliness of heart and body isn't just a choice, it's the standard. In the center of Shadian stands a magnificent structure, one that doesn't just impress with its architecture but also stirs the soul of anyone who lays eyes on it. This is the Grand Mosque of Shadian, a symbol of Islamic revival, the pulse of spiritual life, and a sacred gathering place for hearts longing for peace. With its emerald green dome rising proudly into the sky, elegant minarets, and wide, spotless courtyard, this mosque is more than a place of prayer. It is the community's great home, where all generations come, not out of obligation, but out of love. We don't just pray here. We grew up here. We learned how to be human here, says Abdul Karim, a man in his 20s who has been studying the Quran at the mosque since childhood. Every day, before dawn breaks, the first call to prayer pierces the stillness of the morning. Within minutes, the mosque fills with quiet yet determined footsteps. Fathers arrive hand in hand with their children, the elderly come with steady grace, and young men walk in with open hearts. Congregational prayer is a way of life here, not a hollow routine, but a path to strengthen the soul and the bonds of the community. The Grand Mosque can hold up to 10,000 worshippers, making it one of the largest mosques in China. But even greater than its size is its influence. It is here that religious, social, and even economic activities are born. Islamic studies, children's education, zakat programs, and halal entrepreneurship training all begin at the mosque. It also serves as a center of unity and compassion. When the pandemic struck, the mosque quickly mobilized to provide food and medicine. When someone in the community falls ill, the mosque is the first to respond. This is not just a building, it is a protector, a provider, and a unifier. And perhaps most beautifully, the mosque is not exclusive. Anyone who enters with sincere intentions is welcomed with open arms. It's not uncommon for Muslim travelers from abroad to shed tears while praying here. Many are moved by the realization that, in a land where Muslims are a minority, there still exists a place so radiantly alive with the light of Islam. This mosque proves that Islam is not dead. Even in the most unexpected corners of the world, Allah can grow a beautiful garden of faith, said a traveler from Malaysia who visited Shadian. At the Grand Mosque of Shadian, spirituality isn't just about ritual worship. It's about building the ummah, shaping character, and bringing Islam to life in every aspect of daily living. If you think Shadian is only about serene religious life and the majestic, sacred mosque, wait until you stroll through its markets, culinary shops, and business hubs. Behind the spiritual face of this town lies a dynamic economic engine, all governed by one guiding compass, Islamic law, Sharia. Shadian has transformed into a halal economic hub in the Yunnan region. From halal meat processing, Middle Eastern restaurants, Muslim souvenir shops, to Islamic fashion industries, everything is flourishing. In fact, products from Shadian have started reaching international markets, particularly in Southeast Asia and the Middle East. What's even more fascinating is that the entrepreneurs here are not just adults. The youth of Shadian are also business savvy, stepping into the world of commerce with the understanding that earning a livelihood is part of worship. Many of them run home-based businesses, contemporary halal eateries, and local e-commerce platforms, all while staying true to halal and ethical principles. We want to show that living an Islamic life doesn't mean being left behind. On the contrary, with Islamic values, we know how to trade with blessings, says Mariam, a young entrepreneur who sells halal beauty products online. More than just business, Shadian's economy is built on mutual aid and trust. Here, a transaction is more than just a formality. Trust is real. There's no hiding flaws in products, no practice of usury, and no deception. The principles of muamala, Islamic transactions, are upheld with integrity and are the heartbeat of the town's economic interactions. But Shadian's uniqueness doesn't stop there. Here, Islam and diversity coexist with an amazing sense of harmony. Despite being a Muslim-majority town, the people of Shadian respect and value the presence of other groups. Residents from ethnic Han, Yi, and others live and work alongside the Muslim community without any significant friction. Islamic schools are open to anyone eager to learn. Social events are held across communities. Even during major festivals like Eid al-Fitr or the Lunar New Year, neighbors visit each other and share food, so long as it complies with halal laws. Here, we see that strong religious identity does not necessarily mean exclusivity. We believe that the deeper the faith, the wider the tolerance. Islam teaches mercy for all, not just for fellow Muslims, says a young imam in his Friday sermon. Shadian teaches the world that Islam can be a foundation for progress, not an obstacle. That an economy can grow without compromising ethics. And that the Muslim community can be a pioneer of peace, not a victim of prejudice. This town may be small, but the vibrancy of its values is felt far and wide. Shadian is living proof that Islamic civilization is not just a story from the past, it's a living reality today.